Fisk unit. Fisk unit. Alright, look. Hit that like button, hit the sub button, and hit the notification bell. You understand me? Subscribe to my channel, join this Fisk Unit army, and get Fisk Unit tough. Okay? Now listen. I'm sick of PFF. I'm sick and tired of being sick of PFF. I'm always tired of PFF. PFF right on cue. If you go through the history of my channel, when did I start this channel? Christmas 2020? I think I opened this channel on Christmas of 2020. Something like that, right? You can go back to the last 2-3 seasons of my content, and right around May and June, PFF start talking reckless. PFF start talking spicy. Right after the draft, that lull before training camp, that's when PFF start trashing the Giants. They do it every single year, bro. Every year I find myself doing videos discrediting the nonsense that PFF be spewing. How you gonna sit there and say the Giants have the worst roster in the NFL? How you gonna sit here and say the Giants are gonna be the worst team in the league? What evidence do you have to support that? You see, this is what gets on my nerves. People don't want to adjust. People don't want to adapt. People don't want to change their mind. That's what bothers me. You see, people form an opinion, and that's their narrative, and they do everything they can to stick to it. You see, the narrative is Daniel Jones is trash. The narrative is the Giants stink. The narrative is the Giants have a horrible roster and we're nothing. That's the narrative that they want to paint. That's the narrative that they want to go with. That's the story that they want to print. But it's lies. It's false. And they don't want to change it. And that's why I'm annoyed. I could see if it was last year. Last year, if you want to say something like that, okay, fine. Brian Dable, rookie head coach. Daniel Jones didn't get the option picked up. If we fresh off a QB sneaks on third down. If you want to say the Giants are going to be trash going into 2022, that's fine. Fair game. I disagree, but fair game. But you can't tell me a team that just went to the second round of the playoffs and won 9 games. Should have been 10 games, but Washington won a tie with people because the referees want to throw flags on Feliciano. But we're not going to relitigate that. But it should have been 10 wins. How you going to sit here and tell me a 9-win team that won a playoff game has the worst roster in the league? How you going to tell me a 9-win team that won a playoff game is going to regress and be worse than they were last year? That makes no sense to me. This is trying to get clicks. This is trying to piss off the New York media. This is trying to piss off the New York fan base for clicks. This is clickbait. This is propaganda. This is lies. Because you can't sit here with a straight face and tell me that this is one of the worst rosters in the league, where we just had 2 All-Pro players and we had 3 players get max deals this offseason. And we're about to have, what, a 4th if Saquon stopped bugging? You mean to tell me a team with a top 5 quarterback, the best running back in the league, a top 3 defensive tackle, and a player who should have been Rookie of the Year in Kayvon Thibodeau, Defensive Rookie of the Year in Kayvon Thibodeau, we have no talent? Make it make sense. And yeah, Jets fans, I said Kayvon should have been Defensive Rookie of the Year because Kayvon contributed to winning. Did the Jets make the playoffs? How many games did Sauce Gardner win for the Jets last year? I'll wait. I know Kayvon Thibodeau on defense. He beat Washington on primetime. Y'all saw that game. Y'all saw Kayvon Thibodeau strip sack Lamar Jackson. Y'all saw Kayvon Thibodeau body the Colts. You saw Kayvon Thibodeau be unblockable on Thanksgiving. Kayvon had a better rookie year than Sauce Gardner. I don't give a damn what you say. Bottom line. But back to the point. The point I'm trying to say is this. You know what? Forget what I'm talking about. You know what? I just think, I just had an epiphany. It just dawned on me. While I got sidetracked talking about Kayvon, it dawned on me. You know what, PFF, you right. You got it. The Giants had the worst roster in the league. That roster was filled. That's why Daniel Jones is a top 5 quarterback. You're right. Daniel Jones took the worst roster in the NFL to the second round of the playoffs. You know what, PFF? You're right. I take it back. The PFF ain't lying to us. They are 1,000% right. Daniel Jones went to the second round of the playoffs with the worst roster in the league. Daniel Jones carried a roster that couldn't beat Georgia on a Saturday to the second round of the playoffs. Who am I to disagree? You know, you're right. You're right. You're right, PFF. This roster is trash. You know what? You got it. My guy Daniel Jones just turned water into wine. That's what he did. Daniel Jones performed a miracle Sunday after Sunday after Sunday last year because he had the worst roster in the league. So I just want to know, if the Giants have the worst roster in the league and Daniel Jones won a playoff game with said roster, what does that make him? I want to know, what does that make Daniel Jones? If the worst team in the NFL made it to the second round of the playoffs, what does that make their quarterback? Let me help you out. It starts with an M and it ends with a P. And in the middle, there's a V. That would make Daniel Jones the real MVP of the league. Because if you're telling me the worst roster in the NFL went to the second round of the playoffs and the quarterback is the most important position in the sport, then that will make my quarterback by default the MVP, the most valuable player in the league. Am I bugging, Giants fans? Am I bugging right now? Because I'm just using the information that's given to me, because these guys at PFF make a couple $100,000 a year and have all this computers and analytics and technology, and this is what they give me. So I'm going to trust PFF. I'm going to agree that the Giants had the worst roster in the league, and I'm going to do simple math of 1 + 1 = 2, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if you took Daniel Jones off the Giants, the worst roster in the league would go what, 0-17? Would the Giants have won a game without Daniel Jones last year? The Giants only had 2 convincing wins last year, and Daniel Jones had 7 fourth quarter comebacks or game-winning drives or whatever it was. So if you take away Daniel Jones' fourth quarter heroics, what are we? We're a 2-win team. Do we beat the Colts without Daniel Jones? Maybe. Can we beat the Houston Texans without Daniel Jones? Maybe. So if you take away Daniel Jones' fourth quarter heroics and you give us those 2 convincing wins, the Giants are a 2-15 team without Daniel Jones. So if I'm going to agree with PFF and we have a horrible roster, the worst in the league, then that will make my quarterback number 8 the real MVP. I kind of like that. I kind of like that narrative. I'm not even going to defend the roster. You're right. Kayvon ain't nothing. Saquon ain't nothing. Andrew Thomas, Dexter Lawrence, Xavier McKinney, they ain't nothing. You're right, PFF. They're nothing. But Daniel Jones took that team to the second round. So what does that make him? Can somebody get in touch with PFF? Can somebody shoot this video to PFF? I want an answer. I want an explanation. If the Giants are so trash, but ended up in the second round of the playoffs, what does that make my quarterback? What does that make him? I'll wait. We got all the way till September to get an answer. I'll wait. But anyway, that's it. That's all. Subscribe to the unit if you're rocking with me. My name is Fist Vegas, and I approve this message.